All right. So, I'm going to record the podcast today with a camera and recording. So, here we go. This is how we do it. This is the sausage being made, if you will. So, let's see what y'all think about this shit. Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Chris, and you are listening to Politics Southern Style. Let's see if I can get turned around here where we have some light on my face. I'm not used to recording myself other than the audio on this. So if I'm not looking at you enough, I apologize. I've got my mic here, so I'm trying to look at you as much as possible, and hopefully the lighting is not too terrible. So anyway, I believe this is number 43, and here we go. The Trump cabinet picks. Wow, man. Holy shit. So he's ramping it up, putting out all the crazy picks he can think of. And I've been saying for a while, if you listen to this podcast, you'll have heard me say that a lot of these people that are excited about getting their name thrown into the hat for cabinet picks, like Tulsi Gabbard, who jumped ship from the Democratic Party and went over to the Republican side of things. And we got RFK Jr. We've got some crazy people out there doing crazy things. I'm watching MSNBC this morning, and I just want to talk about a few of the picks. And I want to talk about how, we had Maddow was talking about they're going to come lock her up and everything, and I just watched a little piece with her, and I forget the other chick's name, but they're good friends. Apparently, they were discussing about what good friends they are, and so Maddow hasn't been locked up. No one's been locked up, and I'm not surprised by that. You're going to get a lot of people saying crazy stuff, and that's what we got going on right now. One of the things they're saying over and over again is, and Tulsi and RFK, when you jump ship like that and you take off and you go to another party, like they're going to be the answer. I mean, it tells me that you're not really paying attention to history or historical stuff, and you don't have to go far back. We're talking about 8 years ago, when Trump, he would put people in positions, fire them. It's all one big thing to him. It's not, Gates. It's laughable that he would be the attorney general. There's no way he's going to pass. If he does, then, we get everything we deserve. Anybody that's acting like we're not getting what we deserve, then they're not paying attention. The Democratic Party left the working class a long time ago. I've been saying that. So anyway, they're talking about Tulsi being a foreign asset, like she's a goddamn spy. She's been a congresswoman for a long time. I don't know. I think she was a captain. If she's retired from the military, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if she's still active or not. They're talking about she was a reservist. I mean, she was in the military. She was deployed. She was a medic, which means she's seen some horrible stuff. And the fact that they're like she would never pass security clearance seems absurd to me. I don't know what they're talking about. Repeating Russian talking points, as they say. I mean, I'm sure I've been accused of that. And when I did the episode on here about Russia and Ukraine, everything that I read on there was almost all straight from like Encyclopedia Britannica. All of that historical stuff is right there in Encyclopedia, not Wikipedia. Encyclopedia Britannica. That's like the historical stuff. All the shit that Putin said on Tucker's thing, and I fucking hate Tucker. He irritates me. He's another one of these people that just anything they like to hear and it repeats what they like to hear. I mean, I don't want to hear that the Democrats are fucking shitting on us and that we're not ever going to get health care. I don't want to hear that they're funding wars, but they are, and I can't vote for genocide. If anybody thinks that's not genocide going on over there, they need to read some history books, see what's going on. I mean, they were already essentially, the people call it open air prison, but I just see it like as when the Germans put all the Jewish people into the ghettos and they put a wall around them. It's essentially the same thing they did in Gaza and everything, and I just find it sad that people will repeat the same thing over and over again without ever, and I'm not reading from a teleprompter. Here's what I read from. I just take notes on all these things that I watch, and I pay attention a lot. And These are just talking points for me to use so I don't forget all the stuff I'm talking about. I don't edit this thing. I'm not sitting here taking anything out of context. I'm telling you exactly the stuff that I see and I read, and it's shocking. I mean, this Tom Nichols guy was on CNN and was talking about Tulsi being a national security risk and talking to. Apparently, if you want to talk to foreign leaders, that is now like espionage. If you're doing that right out in the open, I don't understand. So what we used to do was talk to the fucking leaders of other countries. Now you're considered a traitor. I don't understand that at all. It's absolutely ridiculous. Um, yeah, this Tom Nichols fella, and he did his thesis in college. Now I didn't go to college. You don't need to go to college to read books and to pay attention to the news and to look at history. I mean, you can listen to any kind of. There's so many lectures online from the colleges and the universities in this country and from other places too that you can listen to. And I try to listen to a good variety of all kinds of people's stuff. I mean, I like philosophical stuff. And of course, I've listened to people like Christopher Hitchens talk and Sam Harris. And I know sound like right wing people, but I also like a lot of left wing people. I'm not a Republican. I've been a Democrat since '92. But the last 3 elections, I have voted either Green Party or written in my vote. I can't vote for Democrats when they're not doing the things that I thought that the Democrats stood for, which was working for the poor, the disenfranchised. When we talk about minority groups, I want to talk about, not necessarily talking about minority groups needing help. The majority of people that need help are the majority of the people in this country, which are poor people. Can't we just all be a part of that group? Can't we just all wear that label instead of having to carry our sexuality on the forefront of who we are as a human being or the color of our skin? I mean, I still like what Martin Luther King said about, the content of our character being what we're judged upon, not our sexuality or what gender we think we are, which, I don't care what you think you are. I'm happy to call you whatever, but I don't think you need to be dressing in a room with, just fucking. Goddamn, you don't have to go to a gym to exercise. I don't go to the gym. Of course, I'm fat, but I do go out here and walk. Um, so, yeah, I don't understand how this Tom Nichols guy. He did his thesis. I was trying to get to that. His thesis was on Khrushchev, Gorbachev, and the Soviet military. So, by his definition of being a foreign asset or a military risk. I mean, seems to me like he's awfully infatuated with the Russians, right? I mean, by the standards that we're being told, seems like this guy would be the last person to talk about Tulsi being a foreign asset, right? Or a security risk, or not being able to pass security clearance. She was in the fucking military, folks. She was an officer. She's a congressperson. She's not a spy. She hasn't been accused of being a spy by anyone other than the people in the media. So I don't understand. So I don't why they're so worried about Tulsi. I don't get it. That I don't understand. RFK Jr. is clearly crazy as fuck. I mean, he had when I heard him on Joe Rogan that time, I was like, oh yeah, he seems like a pretty reasonable, smart guy. And then when he was off Rogan, I started looking up RFK Jr. And then you find out about the brain worm, and and I'm not for vaccine, man. I mean, I just don't know about the vaccine shit. I don't know why we're giving. They say that they're giving 40 freaking vaccines to kids, which seems crazy. When I was a kid, you got like 5, and everybody was fine. But now there's like 40. I don't know what that's about. That seems odd. My theory about autism has nothing to do with vaccines. I just think it's all the plastic they started feeding us. Seemed like those numbers went up when my generation started having kids. Generation X are here, by the way. I'm 51 years old. But it seems to me that was when it started, when we quit having glass bottles and everything you get is wrapped in plastic all the time, everywhere. Everything, all the time, everywhere. Food wise, everything. Everything's plastic. So, pretty sure that's what's causing a lot of the issues that we have health wise, but I'm sure I'm probably wrong. That and pesticides. I mean, I was a pesticide applicator for many years, and when I first learned about that, it was to safeguard myself, because when I first was ever using that stuff at work, I didn't know anything about it, and was exposed to a lot of shit like Diaquat, Primatol, 2,4-D. If you don't know what these are, look them up, folks. I do know what they are, and I've been exposed to them way too much. And when I say exposed, I mean been in direct contact with them. At an early age, and I get checked out regularly. I've had all my checkups, and always worried about getting cancer or something. Because I also worked with high explosives. I used to be a blaster and work with dynamite and stuff. So I've been checked out by ATF and Homeland Security and all that fun stuff back in the day after 9/11. So I was deemed as no terrorist threat to the United States of America. So hopefully my podcast and running my mouth won't put me on any crazy list, because I have been fingerprinted and checked out by all those cats, and I used to drive a explosive truck. I had a hazmat endorsement at CDL. So I've been a professional in my life for the most part. I also worked in the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill for a few years there, and so I've seen some bureaucracy. Worked as a representative of the grounds department. Was nominated by my peers to do that, and so like I said, I don't have a degree, but I'm not sure that's anything that matters anymore. So yeah, anyway, this Tom Nichols is Khrushchev, Gorbachev, and Soviet military thesis. Oh, he also likes to play video games in his spare time. This is a grown man. Sits around playing video games, and also he was a 5-time Jeopardy winner. So I like that, but that's cool. I like Jeopardy. I used to watch Jeopardy. I used to play it against my wife, and that was a lot of fun. The most questions I've ever got in one episode, beat my wife to the buzzer and answered before the people on TV could answer, and was correct, is 26 questions in one episode. That's my record. Most of the time, never near that close, so I don't think I could beat this Tom Nichols in Jeopardy. But the point being, you don't have to have a degree to be good at Jeopardy. Or to be able to read a book. Once you learn how to sound out the syllables and the consonants and the vowels, of course, the reading and understanding what you read is a different thing altogether, isn't it? Who else we got? Yeah, Matt Gaetz. He's, I figure he'll fit right in with the Trump stuff because he likes young girls, and he seems to be a total douche. So, and he's a lawyer, right? He is a lawyer, but yeah, again, I think a lot of these people are just being thrown in there by Trump to piss people off, freak people out. It's just lip service to those people that came over and supported him when he wanted them to, and like most people in his life, he'll throw them away when he's done with them. I think we've seen that his character is of that. He expects loyalty from others while giving none to anyone else. That is exactly the narcissist playbook, and if you don't know, go take some therapy. Get you some therapy, and you'll learn to see things in a way you haven't seen them before, perhaps, or perhaps you will. I don't know. I got people in my family, they don't believe in therapy. They talk to Jesus every day and God. So whatever works for you, man, whatever gets you through the night or gets you through the day, I say make it happen. Just don't be hurting kids, and don't be stealing shit. Don't be robbing and stealing, wheeling and dealing. So yeah, what else did I want to talk about today? Oh my God. Yeah, I wrote down that a lot of these people are jumping ship and heading over to the Republican Party like it's like they're gonna get saved over there, like there's some savior there. I thought about Donald J. Trump. I think they think Donald J. stands for Donald Jesus Trump, like he's some kind of savior. And these people are going to find that they're just going to be, now they've jumped ship, they're just going to find themselves out there in the water. And the only way they're going to stay afloat is with a dinghy. I know that's not funny, but it's just a image I have in my head of them flailing around, like, trying to find their place. And you're not going to find it there. We got to make a new place, man. We got to make a place for people that are, somewhere in the middle of all this crazy shit. Hyperbolic, fear-mongering, hating each other, labeling. None of this stuff is very democratic. It's not very. It's not what democracy is based on. Just because you think differently than me, I'm not supposed to hate you for that. In fact, I'm supposed to stand up for your rights to think differently than me, even though we disagree. And that's what America is, folks. When people tell you can't vote third party because you're throwing your vote away, well, you can throw your vote away if you want to throw your vote away. And guess what? If everybody votes third party, it's not throwing your vote away. You have a legitimate third party. when you have people shaming people for not voting the way they should, and those same people doing the shaming are people that tell you not to shame people for being fat or whatever. Trust me, I don't need anyone to shame me for being fat. I've been seeing this face in the mirror all my life. I know. And it's been pointed out to me since I was a kid. And anyone else you see out there that has a problem with weight has also dealt with that shit. Because people are bullies and children are mean and people are mean, and you catch it no matter who you are, where you are, what color you are. You're gonna catch shit. Everybody does. I'm sorry. It's just the way it is. You know? What is it? Life ain't fair and the world is mean. I'm quote Sturgill Simpson for y'all right there. So yeah, I think a lot of these people that Trump is picking is doing it strictly to make people like, you know, leave him alone. What did he say? I heard that he said that Elon won't go home. I mean, and please look up the definition of robber barons, folks. Please just go back and look up the definition. I mean, this shit where you're seeing these rich people working with the political stuff and the propaganda. It's what robber barons did. You took advantage of people in the working class and poor folks by aligning yourself with the fucking government so that you can get legislation passed or regulation removed, whatever it is you want that suits your needs at the time. And that's what they've all done forever, and that's where we are now. And it's gotten to the point where you have all these billionaires because things were taken out for the monopolization and stuff, so you wouldn't have robber barons again. But they got people fooled with this deregulation bullshit enough to get there. So we got to stop that shit and stop talking about and not taxing people. My wife came home last night from work. It was raining. It's dark. She was talking about how there's no reflective quality to the paint anymore. And then you've got cars out here now. There used to be regulations about how bright your lights could be at night, right? There was a reason for that, folks. People are worried about hitting deer and stuff, but they don't think about the reason that the lights were like that and why you have a dim and a high beam, folks, is so you're not blinding the person across from you when they're coming at you head on at 60 miles an hour with just a piece of paint between the two of you. You know, a 3-foot barrier, imaginary wall that doesn't exist except anywhere in your mind. And you can't see where those cars are because they've got lights now that are so fucking bright you can't see anything. If it's too dark for you to see with the lights that weren't, you need to slow down at night, not make the lights so bright that you blind everything in existence, burn the retinas out from behind because people ride behind you now. By the way, folks, if you're behind someone, turn your bright lights off. It's shining in the mirrors and it blinds you. Okay? You're not supposed to have your bright lights on except for when there's no one on the road but you. As soon as you see another car, you turn off your high beams. You know? So anyway, my point there is you can't take our tax dollars away from funding things we need like roads, police departments. Although we don't need to be giving our police departments fucking military stuff. It's ridiculous. They need to be taught how, they need to be social workers. We need to take all this fucking money that we spend locking people up and put it into educating children. I don't have kids. I don't care. Educate the children. Like Whitney Houston, I believe the children are the future. But you don't let them lead the way. You educate them and teach them right from wrong. You don't just let them be in charge. You also don't abuse your children. You give them love and you fucking discipline them when they need disciplining. Whatever that may be in your house. It doesn't mean lock them up and beat them and shit. Everybody takes everything to the extreme, whether it's politics, child rearing. Look at me, I'm a fat fuck. I take eating to the extreme. Okay? All things in moderation, including moderation. Once in a while, maybe you need to have a hangover. It reminds you that you're not young anymore. It reminds you that you can't escape your problems. They're still going to be there in the morning. I don't know. As the great comedian Dan Cummins once said, I don't have all the answers. I'm just some random dickhead that's trying to figure it out. And no matter how smart you are, I assure you, you too are just some random dickhead that's trying to figure it all out. You don't have it all figured out. None of us do. By the way, I have a world map back here. One one of the reasons I have that is you hear people say, "I bet they couldn't find Afghanistan on a map." Well, your boy can find pretty much anywhere on the map. I look at this shit every day. It's to remind me that, you know, we're all on this thing together, man. And people have so little faith in democracy. Although I don't think they do. I think that's just more the fear tactics going on. If you're watching CNN, MSNBC, which I do, and I can't watch Fox News. I already know everything they say is garbage and bullshit, and I can't listen to it. It just makes me angry. And now when I watch MSNBC and then CNN, I'm laughing at that. So make sure you get some real news, folks. Make sure you check out some real journalists, some independent journalists. You can look at it on YouTube all day long. If you want to watch something pretty funny, if you want to know what they say on the Sunday morning news, watch Aaron Mate and Katie Hopper with Useful Idiots on YouTube. And as they say at the beginning of their show, the show where we watch the weekend news shows, Sunday news shows, so you don't have to. Okay? So check that out. Check out Due Dissidence with Keaton Weiss and Russell Dobular. I like those guys. A couple of smart fellers from New York. They're a supporter of, a lot of the stuff that I'm a supporter of, like no genocide, no more wars. We don't have to kill each other, folks. We can't seem to evolve past that, though. We just like to stay to our hairless chimp roots and continue to war with everybody and cast anybody out that doesn't think like us. Because that's so much easier. You put a label on it, and then you can just dismiss it and throw it away, and we can all hate on each other. It's terrible. So, yeah, anybody that thinks democracy is going to fail completely here, I don't think that's going to happen. I think if politicians weren't playing games all the time, we would have, there would have been a Democrat, at least one more Democrat in the Supreme Court. You don't start changing the numbers of the Supreme Court. I think the Electoral College is Electoral College is still needed. I guess I don't know, man. I mean, I've seen arguments on both sides, and it's unfortunate Trump won the popular vote as well. But I mean, what are you gonna do? I mean, it's hard not to people will fall for shit, man, when they aren't taught how to think. It's not about teaching them what to think. It's about teaching people how to think. You have to teach people how to solve problems. They need to be able to figure out what's what. If you just listen to everything anybody says without, I don't know, man. I don't know how you teach people that. I guess a lot of trauma in your youth, like me, will certainly give you a good dose of not trusting people. Yeah. So I don't have all the answers. I know we need to educate people. We need to have we need full blown health care for everybody in this country. I'm sick and tired of we use capitalism as a crutch to fall back on when it suits our needs. Oh, let's just let insurance companies make more money, and we're still not going to take care of people and keep them healthy. What was it? Scared, uneducated, sick people are easy to control. So never forget that. That's why we find ourselves in this position. If you have healthy, confident, intelligent, educated people, they're very hard to control. And make no mistake, it's all about control, folks. Anyway, I wanted to do one of these so you can see what I look like, in case anybody doesn't know. And I may have to go back to a flip phone soon, so I don't know. I've tried using Twitter to promote this thing. I've tried using, all the crap on the phone to promote my podcast. None of it seems to work. I don't get hardly any subscribers on, and this is available on Spotify. It's free. It's available on Apple. It's free. I guess I'll try to put it out on YouTube more. I don't know. We'll see how this video goes. Anyway, yeah, I'm a Southern boy. I'm from North Carolina. And just out here trying to get folks to wake up, man. We need health care. We need to educate people. And You know, people should have the right to have an abortion if they fucking want to. They shouldn't be aborting babies. Jesus Christ. If you're 6 months along and you're throwing a baby in the trash can, obviously that's pretty fucked up. It's like that movie I wish I could ever remember about. I won't even repeat that line. It would just be taken out of context and used against me. But Jesus Christ. I went to Planned Parenthood growing up. We never had an abortion there. You know, you can go there and you can get checked for STDs. You can go there and get free condoms. You can go there and get cheap birth control pills, folks. It's much more than just an abortion clinic, and it's there to help poor people, and all that fear mongering just keeps people from getting the help they need, I think, a lot of times, and I find that very sad. Abortion should be safe and legal, but people shouldn't be aborting babies. If you're keeping your baby that long, give it up for adoption. Give it an opportunity for someone else to abuse it. God damn it. Oh, Lordy. Anyway, I don't have the answers. I'm just trying to figure it out, and I just want everybody else to stop hating each other. And Rodney King said, let's all get along, or can't we just all get along? No, we can't fucking all get along, Rodney, because everybody's full of hate and piss and vinegar. So let's start loving each other a little more. Shout out to the shows that I do listen to. Due Dissonance, Useful Idiots, Jimmy Dore Show when I want to laugh at how ridiculous it all is. Chris Hedges is a real journalist. You check out his show on YouTube, Chris Hedges Report. And Glenn Greenwald, his show is System Update. Check all those guys out. And if you can't handle that, I guess you can watch like Breaking Points or some stuff. But boy, they ever really shit the bed, in my opinion. But yeah, The Gray Zone, Max Blumenthal. Make sure we give a shout out to Max. And not that any of these people know who I am, but I know who they are. And I certainly pay attention to those cats. So anyway, love you guys. Thanks for listening. Please hit the notification bell or follow or whatever. It doesn't cost you anything. And tell me what you think of the show. Tell me I need to lose weight. But yeah, I mean, thanks, Captain Obvious. Everybody knows that shit. Hell, dogs know it. If you know that movie, let me know. If you know what movie that's from, let me know in the comments. And as always, remember, question authority.